Imagine a single building that contained 700,000 scrolls holding humanity's greatest knowledge. Mathematical formulas that wouldn't be rediscovered for over 1,000 years. Medical procedures that could have saved millions of lives. Scientific theories that would have accelerated human progress by centuries. This wasn't science fiction. This was the Library of Alexandria. And what we lost when it disappeared might be the greatest tragedy in human history. Welcome back to Echoes and Atoms, where history meets science and ideas echo across time. I'm your host, and today we're diving into one of history's most devastating losses. Not just books and scrolls, but the scientific breakthroughs that could have changed everything. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some historians believe we're still living in the shadow of what was lost over 1,500 years ago. Let's start with what we know was actually inside this incredible institution. The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a collection of stories and poems. It was the world's first research university, where the greatest minds of the ancient world gathered to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Eratosthenes, the library's third head librarian, calculated the circumference of Earth with stunning accuracy, using nothing but shadows and geometry. His measurement was off by less than 2%. This was over 2,000 years ago, when most people still believed the Earth was flat. But here's what's truly mind-blowing. Aristarchus of Samos, working at the library, proposed that the Sun was the center of our solar system. He calculated that the Sun was much larger than Earth and suggested that our planet orbited around it. This was 1,800 years before Copernicus would discover the same thing. The library housed the complete works of Archimedes, mathematical principles so advanced that some weren't fully understood until the Renaissance. We're talking about early calculus, principles of physics, and engineering concepts that wouldn't be rediscovered for over a millennium. Medical texts describe surgical procedures, anatomical studies, and treatments that were incredibly sophisticated. Hero of Alexandria invented the first steam engine, not as a toy, but as a working prototype. If this knowledge had survived and been developed further, we might have had the Industrial Revolution 1,500 years earlier. What made Alexandria truly special wasn't just the books. It was the people. Picture this. The greatest minds from across the known world, all working together in one place. Mathematicians collaborating with astronomers, physicians sharing knowledge with engineers. Euclid developed his geometric principles here, the same ones you learned in school and that engineers still use today. Hipparchus created the first comprehensive star catalog and discovered the precession of equinoxes. Galen advanced medical knowledge so significantly that his texts were still being used 1,400 years later. These weren't isolated geniuses working alone. They were part of a collaborative scientific community that wouldn't be matched again until the modern era. They had access to texts from Babylon, India, Persia, and Greece. They could build on each other's work in ways that simply weren't possible anywhere else in the ancient world. Now, here's where most people get the story wrong. You've probably heard that Julius Caesar burned down the library, or that Christian mobs destroyed it in a single violent act. The truth is far more tragic and, frankly, more relevant to our modern world. The Library of Alexandria died slowly, killed by budget cuts, political instability, and changing priorities. Sound familiar? It started in the 3rd century BCE when the Ptolemaic dynasty began facing financial pressures. Funding for the library was reduced. Scholars left for better opportunities elsewhere. The collection stopped growing. When the Romans took control of Egypt, they saw the library as a luxury rather than a necessity. Why spend money on abstract research when you could fund the military? The great scholars weren't replaced when they died. Maintenance was deferred. Scrolls deteriorated. By the time of the Arab conquest in 641 CE, the library was already a shadow of its former self. The final blow wasn't a dramatic burning. It was bureaucratic neglect, and the simple fact that no one in power understood its value anymore. So what exactly did we lose? The numbers are staggering, but the implications are even more profound. We lost Sophocles' complete works. We have only 7 of his 123 plays. We lost the complete histories of dozens of ancient civilizations. But more importantly for our channel's focus on science, we lost scientific and mathematical knowledge that took humanity over 1,000 years to rediscover. Consider this. If Hero's steam engine had been developed further, if Aristarchus's heliocentric model had been accepted, if the advanced mathematics and engineering principles had been preserved and built upon, human civilization might have advanced by centuries. We might have had the scientific revolution in 500 CE. Instead of 1500 CE, the Industrial Revolution could have happened in medieval times. Diseases that killed millions throughout history might have been cured with the medical knowledge that was lost. Modern scholars have attempted to reconstruct what was lost using fragments and references in surviving texts. Digital archaeology projects are trying to piece together the puzzle. But it's like trying to rebuild a symphony when you only have a few scattered notes. This connects directly to our channel's theme of ideas echoing across time. The knowledge in the Library of Alexandria didn't just disappear. Its absence created a void that shaped the entire trajectory of human civilization. Every time a medieval scholar had to rediscover a mathematical principle that Archimedes had already solved, every time a Renaissance astronomer discovered something Hipparchus had already cataloged, every time a modern engineer solved a problem that Hero had already addressed, that was the echo of Alexandria's loss reverberating through history. But here's the fascinating part. Some of that knowledge did survive, preserved in Arabic translations.